Welcome to the Daily Sigh. It's March 4th, and this is your sigh of relief. If you're an entrepreneur trying to keep up with everything that matters, this is for you. I go live every single business day at 6 p.m. Eastern. And to the very best of my ability, I give you everything that I think matters for small business owners in the realm of markets, platform policy, all in 15 minutes or less. If you want the Daily Sigh delivered directly to your inbox, you can go to dailysigh.ai and get it either weekly or monthly. No, daily or weekly. Let's dive in. From Neil Patel, my nemesis, who I also love. Marketing measurement reset. Y'all, this is interesting. Prioritize incrementality and LTV. So what Neil says is traditional metrics like search ranking and vanity traffic are becoming obsolete as AI infrastructures kill the search landscape, basically. This is really interesting, too. You're not going to get traffic to your website. As a matter of fact, that was the predictive indication of success for basically every traffic strategy that you would ever deploy, regardless of it's, paid, social, organic. You begin to see trickles of traffic, and that's how you know things are working. Within the confines of AI tools, when you start to see the trickles of traffic, that's happening in the app. It's in the AI app, and they're just talking about you. So you don't see those predictive indications of success, which is scary because it's like, well, gosh, how do I know to keep going? And you just have to have a lot more faith in your content strategy, to be honest with you. Back to Neil's article, entrepreneurs must shift focus towards margin-adjusted customer acquisition cost and lifetime value. This is really funny. This is what we used to preach at Solutions 8 when I was running ads for people. It was CAC and LTV, which really, to be honest with you, is media efficiency ratio. It's like, what does it cost you to get a customer? How much is that customer worth? In a high-cost environment, cutting marketing fat and doubling down on profitable, defensible demand is critical for survival. I don't think I agree with that at all. Here's the issue. What people think of as marketing fat is top of the funnel. So anytime people can't see results, they always kill it. And the issue with that is that the real results happen at the top of the funnel, and you can't see any of those results because of the way the funnel works. The funnel's visibility is at the bottom, and that's a technical truism. Facebook's visibility into ad campaigns, especially post iOS 14, is 7 days. If it doesn't happen within 7 days, Facebook can't see it. Well, how many of your customers become, problem aware, solution aware, walk all the way down your funnel, do all the due diligence they need to do, and then buy within 7 days? It doesn't happen. So I'd be really cautious about cutting marketing fat. No offense, Neil. The deeper pattern here, we are moving from the era of attention at any cost to the era of profitable intent. Success now depends on measuring real business outcomes like branded search growth and share of voice rather than platform-specific vanity data. Here's what I think. You have to start building authority in your space. It doesn't matter how small or niche your space is. Go and do it. If you don't know how to build authority, start a podcast. That's the easy button. Chances are your space will teach you. There are certain industries where everybody reads. There are certain industries where everybody listens. There are certain industries where everybody watches. Like, your industry better than anybody. Go be a voice in your industry. If you're a local realtor in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, is Sioux Falls in South or North Dakota? I think it's in South Dakota. If you're a local realtor in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, you should be creating content. Have an Instagram or YouTube or some kind of show or something recurring. Without that, you fall away from the public view, from the AI view, from the social view. Like, you just don't exist. Our next story from Reddit. ADP rolls out AI-powered agents for HR automation. Y'all, this is the beginning of the end. This is really interesting. If you think about what ADP is doing, they're eating more of the meal. It's actually really sad, to be honest with you. In many ways, they're taking the jobs of the people that employ them. Like, ADP is an HR tool now doing HR functions. AI is migrating from front office into core messy back office operations. HR is one of the biggest line items for a lot of organizations, especially if you're staff heavy. And the fact that ADP is entering the fray is really interesting and makes all the sense in the world. But from a labor perspective, we're just like, it's the trash compactor in Star Wars. We're getting squeezed. Back to the article. Small business owners will soon be able to automate complex parts of payroll, onboarding, and compliance. This reduces the administrative head tax that historically prevented lean teams from scaling efficiently. What that really means is you don't have to have an HR department anymore, or at least not as large of one. Vertical AI integration and legacy SaaS like ADP signals the end of, quote, generic chatbot era. This is actually really impressive. It's nice to see an organization. I don't like ADP at all, by the way. I'm not rooting for them or anything. And what we've been seeing recently is brand new companies coming in and doing with AI what existing companies should have been doing. So here is at least an example of an existing company sort of staking their claim. Our next story comes from PR News Wire. Apollo.io launches AI assistant, first fully agentic GTM operating system. Apollo.io has launched a modeler agent that doesn't just suggest actions, but actually executes end-to-end go-to-market workflows like prospecting, researching, and engaging using natural language. Oh, golly. That means your LinkedIn inbox is about to be even more of a cesspool. Beta users are already seeing 2.3 times more meetings booked, and 20,000 weekly users are using it to replace legacy sales tools. For entrepreneurs, this means your sales and marketing headcount can now be an integrated AI execution engine that performs hours of work in minutes. The deeper pattern here, we're seeing a shift from instructional AI to agentic AI. This marks the rise of the GTM operating system. I think GTM in this context means go-to-market, where data outreach and intelligence are unified into a single proactive system rather than disconnected tools. That's amazing. If anybody's used this, I'd be really interested. Hit me in the chat or the comments. Agentic sales. What's so funny about that too is people are building agentic sales at the same time they're building agentic intake. So it's just going to be agents talking to agents, and I'm curious as to how effective that process is going to be in the short term. From Yahoo Finance, the Middle East escalation lifts oil, triggers broad market sell-off. Renewed hostilities in the Middle East have pushed crude oil spiking towards $77 a barrel. Well, what a surprise. It's not like they planned on that. With analysts warning of $100 per barrel risk if disruption exceeds 3 weeks. This acts as an immediate tax on operations. Y'all, this is actually bigger than it sounds because we're already power starved. We're power and compute starved. And everybody's utility bills are going up. And power is one commodity divided into many, many conduits. So when one type of power becomes more expensive, it ends up being a drain on the rest of the infrastructure. So the geopolitical volatility here is actually more important to businesses than you think, especially as it pertains to AI. So just keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens. Some sub-stories. Morning Brew, massive AI deals drive $189 billion funding round. Global venture investment hit a record high in February, though capital is heavily concentrated in AI giants like OpenAI and Anthropic. Yeah, everybody's just feeding them more money. That's not a story, Morning Brew. Go away. Morning Brew, Mark Zuckerberg relocates to Florida. The Meta CEO solidified residency in South Florida, signaling a shift influenced by California's proposed wealth tax. State tax policies are increasingly dictating where high net worth founders and venture capital pools relocate. I thought he bought an island in Hawaii somewhere. I wonder why he's not in Hawaii. Also from the Morning Brew, Anthropic CEO defends red lines after Pentagon clash. Dario Amati restricted government use of Anthropic technology after being declared a supply chain risk. Founders in high-stakes sectors must be prepared to navigate political conflicts that directly impact client relationships. I had a conversation today at Driven Mastermind about the agentic tools. Austin Armstrong, if you're not following Austin on social, by the way, go follow him because he's the smartest guy in the whole wide world. But he presented 3 different tools and how they functioned: OpenClaw, Perplexity Computer, and then Claude Cowork. And I didn't know Perplexity Computer was as far ahead as it is. I'm going to start playing with it today. But if you want a tool time tip, go play with Perplexity Computer, courtesy of Austin Armstrong. I brought that up. That made me think of it because, the fact that the Pentagon now has to use OpenAI because Anthropic says we're not going to let you use our technology to kill people is kind of funny, given that OpenAI is sort of behind the times. Their acquisition of OpenClaw is interesting, and I think that helps them catch up maybe. And I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. Last story from Morning Brew. Apple unveils iPhone 17e at $599. That doesn't sound right. My last iPhone was like $1,500. Apple is pushing flagship grade AI silicon and storage in its entry-level devices. This resets the mid-range market, forcing all hardware competitors to deliver higher value at lower price points. Interesting. Looks like Apple's raising the bar. All right. If you joined me live, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you dearly, deeply. If I missed a story that you think I should have touched on, please feel free to hit me into the comments. Wherever it is you happen to be watching. I'm in Restream, but I'm streaming into Facebook, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Instagram. And for those of you that are here, Life at 100K, thank you. Luigi Montana, thank you. B. Marish, thank you. Brian James, Brad Garrison. Corvin says, yes, South Dakota. Thanks, dude. I went to public school, so I don't know. I don't want to exist in this surveillance state. Yeah, it's getting interesting, isn't it? Adam, do you play Clash? I don't know what that is, dude. I'm so sorry, but I bet you it's fun, and I'm rooting for you as you play it. Thank you for tuning in. I go live every single day at 6 p.m. Eastern, helping small businesses stay caught up on the news. You can get the Daily Sigh directly in your inbox by going to dailyside.ai. I love you.